Hello there, how are you doing? Today we'll be playing something special. Asura's Mild Frustration is a game, but it's also an anime. I mean, like 5 times out of 9 this game is just a playable cutscene. And a pretty damn good one at that, so it does that aspect really well. It's essentially God of War, but with a way bigger focus on story than the gameplay. The setting of said story uses Buddhist and Hindu mythology as a basis and adds some sci-fi to it to create something pretty unique. There's this conflict going on between these things called the Goma and the army of Shinkoku. I think you can tell who the good guys are. Anyways, we're introduced to our main character Asura, who is a member of a group of demigods called the 8 Garden Generals. The other 7 members are the sizable but overly dramatic Wizen, this absolute legend called August, Asura's brother-in-law Yasha, whatever the hell Sergei is, Kalro, who is starting to get too old for all of this, the biggest simp in the universe, Olga, and their commander Deus. We are also introduced to the Emperor, Robert E.O. Speedwagon, as well as the priestess Mithra. She also happens to be Asura's daughter. I sure hope nothing bad happens to her. Anyways, Deus decides to piss on the earth with this massive laser called the Brahmastra.
The Brahmastra? But why?
Why not? It shows how serious we are about winning.
Behold! It is Vitra!
What the fuck are you doing? Can I not sleep in peace? Alright, that's it, you're cooked.
So, since 2 arms aren't enough, Asura pulls out some extras and punches Vitra so hard its body starts to crack.
That hurt you, asshole. I'm gonna blow up half your fleet now, bye.
With Vitra subsiding again, everyone is really happy and they throw this pretty big party in Shinkoku. Meanwhile, Asura visits his wife and daughter, gets summoned by Emperor Speedwagon, and is promptly framed for first-degree murder. As you can see, a typical Monday. Once he makes it back, he sees that somebody killed his wife and kidnapped his daughter. Well, that sucks. So he goes to confront the other generals, who now call themselves the 7 deities, and tries to get his daughter back. So, Asura is dead? Well, kinda. He wakes up in this place called Naraka, which is essentially a realm between life and death. He meets a golden arachnid, complains about some voices that he's hearing, and then climbs out of Naraka. Back in the world of the living, 12,000 years have passed, and to top it off, Asura now suffers from amnesia. He makes it to this village where he is suddenly attacked by a few monkeys and later on the Shinkoku army. After taking them down, Wizen decides to show himself and then makes the biggest mistake of his life, monologuing right in front of an angry demigod who just had his wife killed and his daughter kidnapped. Oh, what's this?
How pitiful. Your ears have become so sullied that you cannot even comprehend words of purity. Feel my wrath!
After getting his shit rocked, Wizen transforms into his Vajra form. He has officially surpassed Big Chungus at this point. Asura tries to give him another ass whooping, but he fails and experiences something that I can only describe as
Can you feel it? She suffers.
shut the fuck up, Wizen. Oh yeah, 6 arms, baby. After shooting down Wizen's ship and having another go against him, we launch him into space. Because why not? Realizing that he's losing, Wizen takes on his strongest form, Gongen Wizen, also known as your mom. Got him. Well, there you have it. Size doesn't matter. Now with Wisendet, we have a fight against Yasha, and holy shit, this music is fire. Anyways, we beat Yasha in both phases of the fight, which leads to one of the best line deliveries in the entire game.
Yes, and I will say it again. Your daughter is devoted to the cause in order to save the world.
Do you think you are?
God. What?
So, we're back in Naraka, but we climb back up immediately. This time, instead of being gone for 12,000 years, we've only been gone for 500. We meet this girl who looks really similar to Mifra. I wonder if that will ever become a problem. She gets captured by some Goma, we free her and end up in her village, where we then have to fight against a giant turtle. After the fight, Kalro shows up and decides to kill the villagers in order to harvest their souls for something. Guy probably plays Farming Simulator in his free time. Anyways, Asura tries to stop him, so he blows up a good chunk of Kalro's fleet. We eventually reach him, only to find out that he got away in an escape pod. After showing Kalro what happens when you press two sheets of metal against each other real hard, Asura falls back down to the planet's surface and ends up in a hot spring where he is greeted by August. What the fuck is this? I'm feeling kinda uncomfortable. Okay, why does this part have to exist? I'm serious, there's 4 achievements tied to this, you can't make this shit up. Well, that aside, we get a fight against August, and goddammit, this fight is great. First of all, we're on the moon. Second, classical music. The first phase is already really good, but the second one takes things to a whole new level because August finally uses a sword. Oh yeah, did I mention that this game is nuts? We eventually beat August Sorrow style, see a large Goma on the horizon, run towards it, cause an explosion, and then, in true demigod fashion, we die. A few days later, we're alive again, head to the girl's village, and watch as Olga carpet bombs the shit out of it. After finding out that the girl died in the whole commotion, Asura can't hold his wrath back anymore and transforms into Gamer Rage Asura. Taking a page out of Deus' book, Olga decides to use the Brahmastra on Asura. However, doing so would waste millions of souls which the 7 deities have been collecting over the years. Not wanting to go what they worked so hard for to go to waste, Yasha tries to talk Olga out of it, and of course, it doesn't work. So he decides to stop the blast himself. Can you tell that I like this song? Anyways, Yasha doesn't reach the Brahmastra in time, but despite it eventually overpowering him, Asura manages to match his power for quite a while. Eventually, Yasha manages to divert the beam away from Asura, saving him in the process. Obviously, because she just had her plans ruined, Olga doesn't really like this, so she tries to snitch on Yasha. However, Yasha already informed Deus about the whole thing, who then sends him and Sergei on a mission to eradicate a large group of Goma heading for a city. While Yasha is busy fighting an elephant, Sergei kills the city's entire population in order to harvest their souls. Man, these guys really do seem to enjoy farming. Anyways, Asura shows up, does to Sergei what he did to Asura's wife, and turns his head into a squashed pumpkin. Now we have to fight against Asura. The first phase is pretty good actually, especially with that music, but considering what song plays during phase 2... yeah, I like that one a lot more. So, the fight ends, Yasha goes to confront Deus, and Asura follows him soon after. Eventually both of them face off against Deus, where they eventually manage to weaken him to a point where he is forced to retreat into the Karma Fortress.
Who said you could board?
You and I will settle this later. Now fly!
Do not blame me if you fall off.
After some bickering, we fly towards the fortress and confront Deus one last time.
Oh, you didn't forget about me, did you? Look at me, I'm Hydra now. I'm gonna slap your ass into next week, Asura.
So, the final confrontation. The first part of the fight has us taking on Vlitra's heads. After we take them down, we move on to the face, but are quickly overpowered. Then, in true Pokemon fashion, Asura levels up, gets a new form, and we go ham on Vlitra. After the phase, we reach the center of the planet and start the last phase of the fight, the Vlitra core.
Strange, isn't it? It looks like you when it's angry.
But is it as strong?
This fight is kinda alright, but it takes quite a while to fill your burst meter. Vlitra also has 2 QTE reaction attacks, with one being pretty easy to hit, and the other one being kinda annoying. I guess that's what I get for playing on 60 FPS. But then I had a very good idea. I used the auger gauge. You see, using the auger gauge gave me the ability to automatically counter every counterable move, and I was able to survive this attack every time, which I wasn't able to do before. Anyways, we take down Vlitra, the credits roll, and then we have to do it all again because there's a true episode 18, which in terms of gameplay is the exact same shit. So, we beat Vlitra. Again. We then make our way back to the Karma Fortress and meet up with Mithra. However, because we forgot to kill her, Olga pulls up and threatens to kill Mithra.
I do not think so. You shall not destroy my precious vessel. Olga? You...
That motherfucker. So it turns out that the spider was behind everything. Then captures Mithra because that hasn't already happened enough times, and shows its real form, this guy called Chakravartin. So Chakravartin reveals that he was responsible for Vlitra and the Goma, and that it was all just a test. This is what would happen if GLaDOS from Portal suddenly got divine powers. Anyways, we get sent back to Earth along with the ruins of the Karma Fortress. Back on Earth, Asura is taking a nap while Yasha defends him from a few Goma. He then takes the mantra reactor, the centerpiece of the fortress, and implants it into Asura's chest. He then yanks out his own reactor in a QTE that the first time I saw it I actually didn't want to complete, and then uses it as a defibrillator. The penultimate episode has us fight against Yasha one last time to see who is stronger. Of course, as he had already planned this outcome, Yasha dies and Asura finds out about his new power. Previously, using his full power turned Asura into his Gamer Rage form, which was slowly destroying him. Now with the mantra reactor, he can use his full power without having to worry about losing control and dying. Confronting Chakravartin one last time, Asura unleashes the power of the mantra reactor and transforms into his most powerful form yet. After flying through the entire galaxy, I'm not making that up, look at the size difference, Asura stands before Chakravartin again. Instead of fighting Asura, Chakravartin offers him his own job as leader of the world. So what does Asura do in this position? He smiles, and he extends his hand. Right into Chakravartin's face, that is.
I refuse!
How dare you defy me?
I will destroy you and your so-called world!
That's unlikely.
Father!
Get back here!
If you kill him, all the mantra will be lost. Without mantra, you cannot survive.
But... you will still live.
And that's it. We're actually done now. If there's one thing you should take away from this video, it's that Asura's Wrath is one of the best video games of all time. And that QTEs can also be a lot of fun if they're used right. That would be a close second. But that's it for me for today. Have a good one. Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about that. There is also some Street Fighter DLC for this game where you fight against both Ryu and Akuma, but I'm a little bit too lazy to cover that right now. Sorry, not sorry. Bye.